uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom! Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too, welcome back to channel. I'm Bushka. Well, today's video is going to be about making you better at the game PUBG Mobile. And if you want to get better, you should stick around and check out the channel, because this is basically what I do. I do tactical breakdowns of gameplay, and we figure out how you can put that into your game and improve and get better and have more fun, because we love winning around here. This is based on team play, specifically duos, but there's going to be some duos versus squad footage, and there's going to be mistakes in here as well. There's things that we do right and things we do wrong. Like simple stuff like focus firing is really the nuts and bolts of a good duos combo, and I'm lucky enough to be playing with someone that I've been playing with for a long time. You can see here Mr. Ouija and I've got the Car 98, he's waiting, I give the word, and then we fire together and we clear the target very quickly. It's always better to have two guns on one than one gun on two. That's a terrible aphorism, and I'm sorry for bringing it into the world. Let's try that again. It's always better just to fire at the same target. That's better. That works. We don't need to be Eastern mysticism around here. Now, if you do like the channel, if you enjoy the channel, why not subscribe and like the videos? There's certainly a lot of that going on. This is called the bait, basically. You can see me baiting that guy backwards and forwards, and he comes rolling across the top looking at me, and then Mr. Ouija absolutely trounces him. Now you're going to see me be an idiot here. I'm using a grazer, and I put a grazer on a 4X and try and spray at range. That guy's got an AWM, and I get exactly what I deserve, which is sat the hell down. This is a big mistake that a lot of people make, but we don't, because we've been in the game for so long, and that is that I'm knocked, and deservedly so, and Mr. Ouija isn't. And I say to him, stay, you're safe, stay safe, win it. Sometimes you just have to stop and let your teammate do it. Riding and quarterbacking from the armchair is not the way forward here. Saying, oh, come and get me, throw a smoke, I'll crawl this way, do this. Just let him win the game. It's a 1v1 right now. The best thing he can do is do what he does best, which is absolutely shred humans. And he carries me all the time, Mr. Ouija. He's got big shoulders, he's a colossus. The game is meant to be fun, and this tactical element adds a whole lot to it. Like, watch this. See if you can spot what's going on here straight away. I'm going to slow this down so you can see again. This is exactly what I did earlier. I am going to bait these guys, and then I'm going to run up the stairs. Look where Azza is. Look where he is. He's in the middle of the corridor, just down below, making a ruckus. They come in, and they're stuck. They are absolutely stuck, because now he is stuck with his teammate down, and he gets that pressure. Mr. Ouija's down the corridor, I'm up the stairs. It's flanking fire, and that's one of the absolute tenets of this kind of gameplay. When you're in an offensive situation, you want to be on flanks. You want to have different angles of attack. If you're in a situation like this, where you're just like long range sniping and stuff, you want to be kind of close together. Being too far away is actually a little bit of a disadvantage. The reason for that should be pretty obvious, because if you get knocked, then they've got to come to you. And what generally happens when someone gets knocked is a good team will use that to apply pressure, which is exactly what we've done here. And they're too far away from each other. They were fighting at somewhat of a range, and we've managed to clear that target. But I'm again in an overlook position, just like being on the stairs. And Mr. Ouija is going down and pushing down, and we're not sure where the other member is. There he is down the end. All space in your gameplay. One overlooks, one pushes. One pushes, one defends. One goes left, one goes right. You've got to have areas of responsibility. Now, the biggest part of this is communication and experience. You want to find a duos partner or squad mates that you can trust and rely on. This means that you don't want people who are like... I did a meme earlier this week on social media where I posted about the guy who got the most kills drinking the champagne and filling someone's butt, and, you know, just being the glorious hero. You don't want that kind of thing in your gameplay. What you want is someone who's going to be worried about your back. We're seeing that guy there. If he's there, there's got to be someone over there. Because they're a duo, and we know they're a duo, and they're pushing us as a duo because they got the knock, but we were right together, so we got them up. This is all good gameplay. Here's me making a huge mistake. This is something I see so often, okay? Now, this is duos versus squads, but what I do here, which is fairly obvious now, it's desync, but I'm in the open. I'm making a rotation for nothing. And this is what we talked about. You don't want people who do this, who this is a big mistake. I'm rotating for nothing so I can basically get an angle on these guys and get more kills in a duos versus squad situation. So I'm going to leave my teammate alone, and then I'm going to go alone and try and wipe a squad. That's stupid, stupid gameplay. And I'm now completely reliant, and I've put all this pressure on Azza to both come and get me up and to kill anyone that comes along. And that's my fault. There's a lot of accountability in getting good at PUBG Mobile. The quicker you realize that it's very, ever rarely a problem that belongs to everyone else, and it's usually a you problem, the quicker you'll be able to rationalize these errors and get better at your gameplay. But Az is a great player, and he's been around for a while, and we've played together a lot, so he's completely comfortable with that. And now we're back up, we're online, and we start working together as a unit. You can see Az is on the left. So he got the knock there on that guy. I flushed him pretty hard with the Mark 47 Mutant, and we're just looking, covering all the angles. That's a bot. This is duos gameplay. This is team gameplay. I'm telling Azza where the other target is, down the end of this corridor, and then we're going to flank him and sweep in together. I go for a late reload here. Bit of a mistake, but it worked out in the end. And Azza did most of the damage there, and I took the knock. And the last guy we didn't find for another 5 minutes. Team gameplay is sometimes... I'll show you this to finish. And these are simple concepts, okay? I don't know what was going on here. We ran into a really odd third party. Now, the first thing I like to do in a situation like this is get height. Height is really, really important. And I think that is... Okay, so that's someone that got knocked, and then XD911 knocked Ouija, and I knocked BBDM or something, who then got knocked and thirsted, and they've all got the same flag, and we didn't know what was going on. Now, I make Mr. Ouija adjust here. You can see I don't want him in that window, and this is a conscious choice. I'm thinking that it's a third-party thing, so they've got knocks, and they're going to be getting them up, and we're going to have time, but I don't want them in that open field. I'm not sure if it's safe out there, and that window, that could be a clean headshot. I've only got a level 2 helmet, so I want to be behind hard cover. Get Az back up, and then we start moving in. And Az is going to cover the top, but you can see the guy with the Mark 14 is still clearing people, and there's actually 2 people in the house across from us. And then they start pushing up, but they're pushing me with someone in the house behind them who's on an enemy squad. This is bad communication on their part. That Mark 14 really hurts, by the way. There's 2 people up there, and then someone's going to push us down the bottom. But Azza and I are fairly close together because we're not being aggressive. Being aggressive, you want to have space. You want to have space. You want to have space. If you are being defensive, you want to be far enough away that a frag grenade isn't going to clear you, or you can't both be cleared at once by bad positioning, but you can also get to each other and revive very, very quickly. And we're at different heights here as well. So Azza is a little bit further down, guarding the left-hand side wall, and then I am right up the top, and I've got an overlook on the back of this actual house. There's someone right out there at the top. Now, did you see that? That was a knock. That was the other squad. And then I've cleared the knock from the guy in the other squad. This took me a while to figure out, watching this video, exactly what was going on. And this is the hubbub and roar of PUBG Mobile. This is the nuance and reading the map and figuring out what's going on. And you can see I'm using a UMP with a 4X. If you are not using the UMP, stop freaking sleeping on it. This does more damage, more base damage than an M416, and in that kind of range, it is very, very effective. It's got more damage, less recoil, and a slightly faster rate of fire than an M416. I don't understand why this is like some kind of badge of honor to run an M416 at 300 meters when most of your engagements are going to be at this kind of range, 75 to 25 meters. That's where most of your engagements are going to be, and at that range, a UMP is better. It does more damage, and if it hits limbs, it does more damage than an M416 in a much, like it's 2 points more damage than an M416 as a base into a chest at 0 meters. It's like 5 or 6 more damage to certain limbs than an M416 at 0 meters. So if you're not using the UMP for this kind of gameplay, I don't know why. And if you couldn't figure out what was going on here, you're not alone. And I can see there's some feet on the stairs. Watch the UMP do this. Look at it through that tiny little gap. It's crazy. Oh, hello. This is our Mark 14 guy, I think. Or this could be the Mark 47 Mutant. Know your weapons. It does great things up close. Anyway, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed that video. It's a tactical highlight kind of video. I'm going to show you some gameplay in the next video that's duos as well, and that's really going to be a little bit more of a masterclass in terms of the things we're doing and the things we do together. And it doesn't have the ending you think. I'm just going to leave that there. So make sure you watch for that. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. That would be tremendously helpful to me. We're back now. We're doing a lot more content, a lot more live streams. There will be a live stream Thursday night NA time. So if you're around, look for that. That'll be happening. And otherwise, just generally be nice to each other. It's a tough time out there, 2020, and be supportive, and don't be nasty to all the other humans. Just be as good a person as you can be. Bye for now.